What's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Quick with the Edits. My name is John Henderson, and today we are in part 2 of the basic series where we're going to be talking about panels. Now I know what you're thinking. As soon as you open Premiere Pro, most of the time, if you've never seen this program before, you are immediately overwhelmed. What is all this? What's going on? There's all these panels, all these effects, all these different things. What am I supposed to do? And don't feel bad if you feel that way. I felt the same thing when I first opened this program, but we're going to go through step by step. We're going to talk about all the tools, all the panels, everything you need to know to start creating your projects and start producing the content that you want to create. As you can see, there are several panels on the screen right now, and we're going to go through them one by one, and I'm going to show you how I have mine set up, and I'm also going to show you how to customize and make your own to fit your preference and your style. So the first one we're going to look at is the one right here. This is going to be your timeline. This is where all your clips go, all your media, all your pictures. For instance, if you have some assets like this logo, they go here on the timeline. This is where your timeline is being created, right here on this bottom panel. And as you can see, there's some tools here that we're going to get to in another episode and some other things as well. But the basics of this panel is this is your timeline. This is what your project is going to look like. And as you can see, as I scrub through, it goes through and it changes. Let me real quickly delete this. So you can see as I go through, it plays along with the video, and that brings us to our viewer panel. Now this is where you see what you have done in your project panel. For instance, if there is no video in here, you do not see anything, because there's nothing on your timeline. Now when we bring the video back, you can see that there is a video on here, and if I press the space bar or press the play button, it goes through and you can see that. Quick little note about this panel, right here where it says fit, this is where you can change the viewing perspective of your video. So if I click 10, it's way far away because that's 10%. 100 is pretty close, and then you can go all the way up to 400 if you need to see minute details. Typically I just leave it at fit. It makes it perfectly fit into the actual panel. We're going to talk about some of the other stuff later, but this other little drop down here is your playback resolution, which can be very important depending on what kind of computer you're editing on. And if it's super fast, typically you can just leave it at full, but if you go 1/2 or 1/4, you can actually see that when you play it back, it's a little bit blurry. This is not changing the actual quality of the video, it's just changing the playback so your computer can handle it and run it smoothly. Next panel is over here to the left. This is going to be your preview panel or your effects control panel, depending on what you want to call it, because it does both. So what you can actually do is, if for instance, I take this video and drag it on here, which I've already done, you can actually scrub through and you can see the whole video. Now, the cool thing about this panel is you can actually set in and out points for when you want your video to stop and end before you even put it in the timeline. So if I use the hotkeys in and then drag along, wait till after I shoot, and then click the hotkey O, then I can actually take this, drag it onto the timeline, and you'll notice that it actually only brings in what I have it set to bring in. This is such a wonderful feature because if you'll notice, if you have longer clips, it makes it a lot easier to trim them down before you throw them in your timeline, and you have all these long clips everywhere and you're trying to figure out where you want it to come in or out. And the last panel, which is actually probably the first panel I should have started with, is your project panel. Now we talked about organization in the past video, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse with that, but this is where all your videos go. This is where your assets go, your audio. If you have audio here, or you have assets like a logo or something like that, and your video, that's where all this stuff goes. And as you can see, as I open things, they actually appear up top here for quick and easy access. Now, I keep my panels set up just like this. It works the best for me and what I do. But the cool thing about all these panels is they are not stuck to one position. If you want your timeline where your viewer panel is, you can just simply grab it and move it. And you'll see this little blue space wherever you move it. And if I let it go, my timeline's up there. Also, another cool feature is that you can actually unlock these panels. For instance, if I have a separate monitor, I can go up to my project panel or any panel in here. I can right click it and click unlock panel. Now it actually creates a separate window with this panel in it, which is awesome. Then if I want to bring it back, I simply grab it, pull it back to where it was, and there you go. So you have an unlimited amount of customization that you can do. You can put literally anything, anywhere, wherever you want to. But if you're looking for some presets to help you out, you can go right up here to Window, go to Workspaces, and Adobe has actually created several preset workspaces for different types of editing. You can also save your own workspaces by clicking the Save Workspace button. But like I said, this is how I have mine set up, and I love the way it works, and I love the way it's set up. So I know this was a bit of a longer video, but I did want to take some time to explain what some of these panels mean. We're going to be getting in depth into the different tools and things that you can use for these panels. But next time we're actually going to talk about starting your sequence, starting adding your clips, your audio, your assets, and starting actually to make your project. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up to let me know I'm doing a good job. Also hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell just to know when I've uploaded my next video, the next part to the series, my next vlog, whatever the case may be. And again, thank you guys so much for walking. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.